Thank you. Christopher, your response.
And in response to Marshall saying that to their Liberal increase, it's just a knee-jerk reaction and a desperate attempt really to grab votes rather than to properly address this serious pension issue.
Tell me, please.
People who retired from the public service last year will get the same 2.5% as long-term retirees. Long-term retirees who retired with low-wage jobs more than 20 years ago. And this is not really addressing a real need, and it's making the system even more unfair. And the NDP is committed to taking the problems of...
Someone back to your response.
Thank you. For the fixed elections and taking the fire trucks, I didn't see anybody give one back, so I've seen a few more people looking for them. And, you know, I remember the election in 2003. You know, everybody was, okay, is it going to be called this week? Is it going to be called next week? You know, so everybody was, you know, wondering, and I just like to fix the elections.
Thank you. It looks like the Northern Bend is up again.
They'd almost had it again.
Okay, now this is more of an issue. I'll put it, Christopher, to you first. Snowmobiling trails. There's been last winter a lot of issues raised about paying for pass trails and all that kind of thing. Where do you stand on people having to have a pass to go on the trails, and state of that particular organisation, and do you think it should be government subsidised?
Christopher.
Sorry, that was like 3 in 1.
I think we should give the candidates a few seconds.
Yeah.
These questions
Start the timer.
are unknown. They've never seen these before.
I think that when you look at snowmobiling trails here in the province, it is something that does need to be maintained. They are a good aspect to our economy. Winter tourism is something that's certainly undercapitalized.
So,
Thank you. I guess I'll agree with the other two candidates. I mean, you have to be, you know, accountable to the people of the district. You know, the first responsibility of any member is to the people of the district, the people who put you in office. You know, being accountable to the people is one of the reasons why I want to knock on as many doors as I can during the election. As of now, I've got about 80% of the doors knocked on, so you know, I want to hear what the constituents have to say. And that's the best way you can be accountable to people, is to listen to them.
thank you. Marshall, your response.
Just a comment or two on one other thing, I guess, in closing, in terms of accountability, and with a district as large as this one is geographically, and the number of towns that we have and the people that we represent, it's very easy to find one issue in one part of the district that doesn't necessarily represent the interest in another part of the district, at least not on the surface. And I think those are some of the challenges that we would find as an MHA to, you know, when we're making party policy, or when we're debating something in the House of Assembly, or when we're really just collaborating as a group in probably at M&L and so on, in terms of what's best for your district. You know, you're representing a town the size of St. Anthony, you're also representing a community the size of Raleigh, for example. And the representation is different, but yet you have to have that accountability there, that the decision you're making, that the recommendation you're putting forward, or what you are standing behind, is indeed, at the end of the day, in the best interest of all the people that you represent.
Thank you. You guys are right on time tonight, according to that clock.
Can't miss that clock.
Okay, next one is from the Northern Bend again.
Okay. Luckily, it's the last time you get to hear from us tonight. Marshall, we'll give this one to you this time. So there are a lot of disillusioned voters who basically see candidates turn up once every 4 years looking for votes, and then every now and again they'll also turn up to cut a cake. Will you commit to regularly and openly meeting with your constituents, and in what kind of format would you propose?
Okay, I think it's a good point that you make, because I've heard that at the door, and I'm sure the other two candidates as well. And I know I've had a couple that have said to me, well, I haven't seen you for 4 years. And I said, no, the reason for that is I've only been in for 2. But nevertheless, you know, it's that, I guess there's a perception out there that, you know, politicians come looking for your vote and they leave and go away and we don't see you anymore. But, you know, it's important that you are throughout the district, and certainly in the off-season, as you would call it, when the House of Assembly is open, it's difficult to be in some places, or in all the places at the one time. But certainly in the off-season, it's important that you know, attend the functions that are there, whether it's the Come Home Year celebrations and so on that we've done this summer past. But more importantly, perhaps, or just as importantly, it's important that you meet with the municipalities, you know, with different groups, whether it's about fisheries, whether it's about healthcare and so on, that you meet regularly throughout that 4-year period, so people do see you first of all, but more importantly that you get to understand the issues that are there, you don't lose connection with the people, and that you're able to work on the issues that are important for them. And I guess it's in that absence of being around that people get that perception that politicians, well, I'll see you in 4 years' time as you come looking for my vote. Now, you're obviously never going to see all the people, you know, completely across the district, but I do believe that if you plan meetings, that we've done some town hall meetings in the last 2 years in Flowers Cove and Sandy Cove and Ingley. We've met with every municipality that have wanted to meet with us. One decided they didn't want to meet with us, and that's fine. Perhaps in the next 4 years they might want to meet with us, who knows. And but that's the kind of thing that you do so that you try to keep connected with the people around snowmobile federations and so on, and all the other groups that would be there that represent the citizens across the district of Straits-White Bay North.
Thank you. So.
Again, it's very important to you know, go around the district. I've worked, I think, probably in almost every community in this district, whether it's with the snow clearing or building roads, and I've met with a lot of people, and you know, it is important to have town hall meetings, or you know, meeting with councils or some interest groups. You know, it's also important to attend, you know, certain functions. You know, whether it's, I don't know, the Count's Garden Party, or, you know, some party in Goose Cove, or, you know, some church gatherings. You know, it's important to get around and let the people see you, and let them express any opinions they have.
Christopher.
I think people are generally tired of politicians just showing up to these events and being a face, being recognized there at come home years and garden parties just for the big high photo op, whatnot. You know, we got to do politics in a different way, and I think that's going to change when you elect a younger person who will make the effort to come back into your community and meet with you. You know, it's not impossible to go back and knock on your door on a one-on-one basis. If politicians don't come back within 4 years, they certainly should be fired. You know, they need to make every effort to get to you. They're working for you. It's the people. And that's the commitment that I would make, that I would come back and see you. And as well, you know, there's different ways to connect with people. And we need to use the social media, you know, beyond town halls. Use Twitter, Facebook, blogs. We can reach out to people in a new format without costing the taxpayers a significant amount of money. We got to think about things in a new light, new ideas.
Thank you. Marshall.
I've heard this guy talk so much about the younger generation. I'm not sure what's going to happen to those of us who are over 50. I guess he's just going to destroy them if he were ever elected. But I've heard that so much in the past 2 or 3 weeks, Chris, that I'm getting a little bit concerned about it, to be honest. But nevertheless, you know, I agree with coming back, and you know, I think your personality brings you back to different things. And some people might come back and sit with, you know, an older person and have a cup of tea or whatever. And I don't know if that's the most effective way of understanding the issues in your district, though. If you're going to try to meet with 20 or 25,000 people over the next 4 years, you're not going to do a lot other than, you know, eat some of Aunt Mary's cake respectfully and drink her tea. But certainly it's important that we keep in touch, that we have the town halls, as we said, meeting with the groups you know, that are working on issues, and just being available. And that's what I found for us in the last 2 years, of being available to the public at your office. You know, if someone calls an MHA office, they deserve an answer within 24 hours. And in very short order, they deserve an answer to their request. Can't always meet it, but you do the best that you can.